What's up there, Kiss Army? Tom Zeus with another episode of Shout It Out Loudcast. Episode 17. Aptly titled, Kiss Confidential. Tommy, how the hell are you?
Hey, Zeus. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another fun-filled episode. What's happening?
Not much. Weather's getting nicer.
Weather's getting nicer. It hasn't friggin' stopped raining where I am.
Well, it's not snowing, right?
Oh, well, I hope not. It's friggin' May.
Well, I guess so. Even though I did see something that last year was like 80 degrees at this point, but
yeah, I haven't gotten out of the 40s where I am right now.
It's New England weather. You don't like today's weather? Give it a day. It'll change.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
So, anything new over in the New Hampshire front?
No, it's cold and rainy and boring. I haven't been able to move past getting really into the spring here, though. But
yeah,
but
sounds real exciting.
Oh well, New Hampshire's riveting this time of year.
Let me tell you, what the hell's going on in Boston other than playoff sports? Celtics and Bruins going on. Red Sox playing. Bob Kraft getting buttholed during. What is that?
Well, okay, so just for
that broke today, by the way.
Yeah, so we're back to recording on Thursday. This is our first back to normal schedule. Yeah, and a story broke today that Bob Kraft took a finger in the ass while he. Why is that news? Why?
It just 70-something-year-old dirty old man.
Just let the man be. Come on, man.
Nasty. I was like looking up stuff before the episode on Twitter, and I'm like, what the hell is this?
I saw that too. I'm like,
man. Oh, other than the finger in the ass story locally. I got another fun cheerleading event for my daughter this weekend. Yeah, she's going to nationals. Nationals are being held in glamorous Providence.
Oh, that's weak.
Yeah, I know. Reminds me of my old hockey tournament when we won the state title in midget hockey. And we got to go to the year before, I think it was Hawaii, and we got to go to glamorous Woburn.
Shut up.
Nationals are held in Woburn, Massachusetts, Tommy.
How do you go from
back then, only a few short years away from Woburn, from a civil action and dirty, poison, polluted water and the John Travolta movie? Yeah. Glamorous Woburn.
If there is a global opposite to Hawaii, it's friggin' Woburn.
Woburn, Mass. Yeah, so I get to go to another cheerleading event with all the cheer moms. Yay! So that's what we got going on. Anything else in the personal area?
No, just kind of like you said, enjoying the playoffs. We had an action-packed Saturday there, a double overtime at the Garden, me and you.
Yeah, in which we lost, but Tommy got to experience it firsthand, up front and close.
Yeah, pretty
cool, huh?
That was a good time. Too bad.
Different perspective seeing it that close.
Yeah, no, it was great. It was definitely awesome. Yeah. I don't know, but that broke the chain of your Kiss Good Luck T-shirt. I screwed that up.
I'm thinking I must have done something off.
Yeah, you brought me.
I'm wearing the Kiss shirt because they're playing later on tonight. I'm wearing the Kiss attire, Kiss Army shirt. So we'll see.
Well, I'm not there with you, so maybe they'll win.
Yeah, we'll find out soon enough. So, what's going on in Kiss world?
Well, I mean, it's the tour is quiet. I mean, we haven't heard anything about that. They just, what's that?
They're resting right now. They're taking a little break.
Oh, shit, that's right. Yeah, I suck. I forgot about that. Yeah, that's right.
That's all right.
So to fill the void, we just have Paul's book tour.
And the Kiss Expo in Indianapolis, right?
That's coming up Mother's Day weekend. So next weekend, that is. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to attend it. But
yeah, Tommy Thayer is going to be there, I'm told. Bruce Kulick sounds like a fun affair.
Yeah, it does look like a good event.
Kiss vendors, so you guys might want to check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, Paul's doing his book tour on his book there where he's hawking Puma sneakers or whatever he's doing.
Yeah. Yeah, the book came out Tuesday. I've actually been plowing through it. I'm not going to get into it. I've been reading it. We did post a couple of little things on our social media about some of the things he's been talking about, but we don't want to really get into that because we're going to save that because we both want to read the book and then talk about it a little bit more. So,
yep.
But yeah, even people that aren't Kiss fans, you're seeing Paul everywhere in print, internet, TV, etc. So.
Yeah, I don't think he's doing a book tour around us. I'd love to have gone and got a signed book if he was.
Yeah.
But I'm sure he'll find success with it. From what I understand, I haven't read it. More or less a philosophy book. Not so much on this day I decided to write Love Gun. On this day we did this, right?
Correct. Yep. But yeah, other than that, I mean, I'm not really hearing too much about anything out of the ordinary or specific. You brought up the Kiss Expo, and like I said earlier, sadly we're not going to be able to attend that. But if anybody that is going out there that's listening, share some photos on our Twitter and Facebook. We'd love to see what you're experiencing because we're not going to be there. So, share some cool stuff that you find out there for sure with us.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So, want to get into the topic?
Well, let's just real quickly, let's just a little bit of feedback from our interesting episode we had last week. When we did our makeshift Alive 4 featuring a very interesting era in Kiss, a love it or hate it era for a lot of fans. We talked about Unmasked, Elder, Killers, etc. A lot of people enjoyed the episode, I think, from our feedback. I think a lot of people, if you're listening to a Kiss podcast, you're obviously a real diehard fan. And we are too. So it didn't surprise me too much that a lot of people I love Unmasked, some songs on Elder. So it was good to hear that kind of feedback from people. One of our favorite fans, we always bring up Jerky Jack Broad. That's his nickname now. Jack, you've earned it. He said,
right.
he said, what a ridiculous topic for a podcast. I loved every minute of it. And he's right. It is ridiculous to think of an Alive 4 with those 3 albums.
Let's take their 3 worst albums selling and come up with a topic, an album consisting of live cuts into an album and exclude in that album all the greatest hits like Rock and Roll All Night. That won't be on this album.
Yeah. We had another list.
I thought it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we had another Twitter guy named Chris. His Twitter avatar is a picture of Rowdy Roddy Piper in his kilt. And he said, I don't care that it's not popular to say, but I love Unmasked and The Elder. Hey, this is a safe space for Kiss fans. That's okay to say that. You might not want to go tell your friends at work that you like it, but
yeah, exactly. We'll play it loud at a party.
Yeah, but here, no, absolutely. We had another listener say that talking about Nowhere to Run. He agrees that it's one of his favorite hidden Kiss gems. His name is Darren, but his Twitter handle is Dracula Lizard. Okay. Whatever it takes. He's a Kiss fan, so he's a big fan of those kind of underrated gems. So yeah, just generally speaking, just get some good feedback. Like we say, we do this show for you guys, and to get interaction and feedback, what you like, what you didn't like. That's what we want. So yeah, cool stuff.
Absolutely, and those are the kind of topics we'd like to get into. So we're going to have unique topics. I mean, obviously, we're going to have to go through, I think, 3 more of those albums.
At least, yeah. I think 3. Yep.
And after that, we'll see. But we have those. We have episodes on specific members. We have episodes on, we have drafts. We have different types of things we want to talk about, and we do album reviews. And this time, we're going to do our first DVD review.
Or VHS cassette review when it came out.
Yeah, I know. And I had gotten this in college.
Yeah, well, it came.
I had it on VHS at Stonehill.
Yeah, so we're talking about Kiss Confidential, released on August 16th, 1993. That would have been the summer before our junior year in college.
Yep.
So Kiss Confidential came out. It came out a couple months after Alive 3.
Yeah.
So the video is pretty much, the revenge tour, kind of behind the scenes, etc.
Yeah, it's almost like Kiss Alive 3.
Pretty much, yeah. That's pretty much what it is. It's like a video companion to Alive 3. Yeah.
Yep.
I don't remember buying this or finding it. I think it kind of.
Oh, I do.
Okay.
I remember because the video for this Take It Off stood with me.
Oh, we'll go to that.
That made me like the song even more back then. And that was, we'll get to that part. But yeah, I bought it back then, VHS. That's when me and you really started getting back into Kiss and getting everything Kiss.
Well, yeah, because
we were still in school.
Yeah, because just a year before, the infamous Extreme Close-Up came out, and then that kind of turned us on. So this is when Kiss kind of got back into pumping out those those videos. Extreme Close-Up was 92, Kiss Confidential was 93, Kiss My Ass was 94. So they were really staying with the times of putting out those video releases.
Yeah, because Kiss Army will eat that shit up.
Oh yeah, oh no doubt, of course.
All right. So how does it all begin?
So well, for our listeners, let's share the fact that we watched this together. And I don't know about you, Zeus, but I honestly hadn't seen this because now I own the VHS.
Did you just say forever?
I actually stopped myself because I knew that's what you were going to do. But yeah, so I owned the VHS cassette like you, but then we both own the double DVD that has this and Extreme Close-Up, the collection.
Right.
So Zeus and I got together last Saturday before our date night at the Bruins. And and we watched this, and we put the DVD in. The first thing you see is just a bunch of naked asses in the friggin' in like the backstage dressing room.
They're all like bent over against the wall.
They're all like, ooh.
Yeah. As though the police said, arms against the wall, back up. And someone was going to frisk them. Now,
pretty much.
I made the comment to you. That reminds me, I'll tell you guys a quick Stonehill story.
Uh-oh.
We had a character named Philbo. It was actually a roommate of mine. And he decided in our suite, because we had a suite, this was our junior year before we all got split up and banned from living together because we were such knuckleheads.
Because we were living in sin.
Yeah, exactly. And so he put a photo of all the, it was like 5 women bent over on motorcycles with their asses up and the fattest, I don't even know what mind you, they're naked with these fucking, how can I describe this? I know this is going to be explicit.
Try not to.
Fattest snapper flaps flapping in the wind as they're bent over on a motorcycle. Meanwhile, we get in so much trouble that the dean comes down to our suite to have a big meeting with us and yell at us about all the stuff. And he looks at the wall and he's like, what is this? And he points to that photo of like 6 women with their ass and their flaps bent over. And he's like, get this off. And he points to her picture. I think was it Kathy Ireland?
Yeah, it was
Kathy Ireland's like, look, this is sexy enough.
and that has become one of our favorite catchphrases. Oh, Zeus, I think that's sexy enough.
Yeah, that was the Kathy Ireland, I think, St. Patrick's Day photo we had with her in green holding up a couple of pitchers of beer. That was sexy enough. He didn't need to see that nakedness on the wall. So needless to say, we got a little reprimanded from the flaps on the motorcycle.
So that's pretty much how friggin' Kiss Confidential opens up.
So meantime, me and Tommy are trying to not spit out our drinks when we see it.
Oh.
Yeah, and you hear the boing, which sounds like a boner noise. The beginning of Paralyzed, right? That's how it starts.
Yeah, that's like the intro credits music. They play Paralyzed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the show kicks right off with again, it's a live 3, so it kicks right off with Creatures of the Night. And it's the Revenge Alive 3 tour, and that's the first clip. And one of the first things, if you've listened to our previous episodes, which we hope that you have, I'm on record as saying that my favorite lineup, other than the classic lineup, is this Revenge lineup. And I never got to see them in concert. But watching this video, that's one thing I love about this video. I think the band looks amazing. They sound fucking awesome. I mean, Paul is at the top of his game. I mean, what did you think when you first? Because hearing the music is one thing, but watching the video, I was like, oh, these guys look so good.
Never been a big fan of Creatures of the Night, the song.
No, me neither.
But this sounds really good.
Yeah.
As far as the look, this is the best look non-Kiss makeup look.
Totally.
Everything's black leather.
Yep.
Except at one point you go, what the hell is Gene wearing? Are those tights?
Well, no, I wear the required uniform. Yeah, tights.
Tights. Shut up.
Yeah, well, no, because I'm watching it, and you see Gene doing his thing. I'm like, does he have, like, tights with, like, socks on? Like, does he even have shoes on? Like, it was just a weird look, but yeah, I mean, I loved it. I mean, and the video clips interspersed between color video and black and white videos. In Zeus, you had a couple observations on that about what you thought was going on there. In terms of actual concert footage, you were wondering, is some of this like rehearsal sound check stuff?
I think it was rehearsal sound check because there's some stuff that look like they're practicing, and you can't see behind them that there's a live audience there.
Yeah,
it'll be like a close up, or they won't look sweaty. And sometimes you picked up that Gene's wearing a different shirt.
Yep.
And, you can pick up the concert footage when you see the fans in the background. And there are other parts that it looks like, it looks like them just doing a video.
Right. Yeah.
Right? So
yeah.
I think there's some live. I think there's some rehearsal. I think there's some video input. We all know Kiss likes to, cross that line and where you're not sure if they're live or they're not,
Yeah.
But yeah, it was bugging me trying to figure it out. Is this live? I don't think this is live. And I think it was driving you nuts because every time they would show them, I'm like, that's not live. You're like, yes, it is.
I'm like, I don't get it. I don't see what you're seeing. But I think, yeah.
I don't think there's an audience back there. They just look like they're just, it looks like Poison doing a video of them at a, like their rock videos where they try. It's like a live stage, but they're not live.
Yeah, it looked like the black and white footage was the footage that may not have been actual live. The color footage looked like the concert to me.
Yeah. But one of the things we didn't bring up, you start the episode in just like Kiss Alive 3, where's the You Wanted the Best?
Yeah, no shit. Exactly.
Right?
It's weird because, we'll get into it a little bit later, but, Paul's no stranger to, the past and embracing it. And to avoid that was just jarring. I mean, when you listen to Alive 3, the album, you hear the crowd for a second and then it just kicks into that Creatures intro, and you wonder what the hell were they doing because they do that now. They've done that for years, the You Wanted the Best, and they just didn't have that there.
Did they feel like they weren't proud to boast that anymore?
No, I can't imagine that. Or maybe, I don't know what it was. Maybe they thought it was too corny because it was 92, 93 and it wasn't the cool thing to do. I don't know. So after Creatures, the video goes right into Deuce. And this is when I said to Zeus, I go, look at how much energy the band has. They are jumping around like Paul's doing like his friggin' David Lee Roth. Like,
yeah, and they had the little slow-mo camera going, remember?
Yeah.
Right?
Gene was just going crazy. I mean, again, the band just looked fucking great. I mean, they sounded awesome. They looked awesome. And of course, and then they did the, like they always do, they did the little Deuce dance that they did with Bruce.
Which I believe is exact footage they use on the End of the Road tour when they show all the various forms of Kiss doing the Deuce dance. I think they get that from Confidential.
Probably.
Bruce doing it.
Probably, yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah, and they were doing that. You're right. They had a lot of energy. Paul's moving around nonstop. Gene's moving around, trying to kick his leg up, but I don't think he's doing that good of a job. But it's awesome.
You know what it is when they look, and again, I know this was 92, 93, so you're talking 25, 6, 7 years. They looked so friggin' young, and I know that's a long time. I mean, back then they were in their 40s, so that is a long time. But it's just, I mean, my God, like they can't, they're moving around now, but but just to see that was just like holy shit. They were really kick ass in that era. Yeah. And then after Deuce, that's when it cuts. So for everybody that has seen this video or who hasn't seen the video, when they cut away from the concert performance, what you're seeing interspersed is just, they're either on the tour bus or in the recording studio, and it's just the band just kind of shooting the shit, Yep.
It's an interview.
Yeah.
Gene talks about Eric Singer and calls him a shitster.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yep.
And then Paul talks about Bruce and saying about how he comes out of his shell. And what was the old nickname for Bruce?
They used to call him the nickname for Bruce Kulick.
Yeah.
Yeah, they used to call him Spruce Kulick because he just stood there like a tree. He never moved. He never moved because he's not that kind of guy. He's not really animated, and I feel bad because as much as I love Bruce, it almost feels like when he is moving around, it's almost like he's like forcing himself to be active because he just gets up there and plays the guitar, Yeah,
but he's not a show off.
What was the one thing you noticed? You pointed it out to me about when Bruce was talking about Paul.
Oh, it's funny because Gene and Eric are talking. Gene talks about Eric, and they're just kind of laughing, doing their shit. You kind of notice when Bruce is talking, Paul's kind of got a smile on him, but he's got that nervous look, which reminded me of how he was when they were on the Tom Snyder show. Like, ha, 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 I'm watching you, motherfucker.
Absolutely.
You better not cross. Okay, all right, you can say that.
And
I'll let you say that. Yeah, you're good. All right.
Totally. And it's funny because when you're watching the video, Paul's over to the side. So you're looking at Bruce, and Zeus was like, "Look at Paul's face. It's like he's ready to pounce if Bruce says anything."
Yeah, you know what I mean, like a parent listening to their kid say something like, "Don't say something stupid to your uncle."
Totally, yeah. And Bruce had been in the band. For 10
where the fuck you been? Mom says you're a drunk. Paul's looking at him like.
But it's funny because Bruce had been in the band for 10 years. So you think that I think we'll get into this. I think that is at that time, I don't think any of them were married at that time. I think they were all single, and we'll talk about that.
I better hope not.
And I think that was a little bit of the insecurity there. I think he's like, who the fuck is this guy? What is he saying about me? But of course, everything that Bruce said about Paul was like, oh, Paul is a showmanship and a good guy and a leader. And that's Bruce. I mean, we've said in the past on other episodes, Bruce is like the nicest, most non-controversial type of guy. But you could tell Paul was there.
Right before they go into the next video segment, Paul says, I'm a god, but a humble one.
Yeah. Oh, what a great line. What a great line. That is just so – and I'll tell you, watching these clips, whether it's the recording studio or the bus or whatever, it looks like outtakes from like fucking Bachelor Party or like some 80s teen comedy because they're all trying to be like, hey, like we're in a frat, like look at us, like we're fucking crazy guys.
They seemed happy, like
exactly, yes.
Like they weren't stiff.
Nope.
Like they were kind of just being themselves, and Paul and Gene seemed like. They didn't care. They were just being themselves. It wasn't a big deal.
Yeah.
So what are they going to next? Do you remember?
Yep. So after that, they go into I Just Wanna. The live version of that, again, the audio is on a Live 3, but seeing the crowd getting into it, with the I Just Wanna all that. So yeah, I mean, that was cool. That's a great song. We all love that song, and the live performance is pretty kick-ass too.
And the crowd singing the fuck part.
Yep.
Oh, that was awesome. I love it. I mean, I love that song. It sounded great.
Yeah. It was.
And cool. I've got a body built for sin and an appetite for passion.
Yeah, it was good. And then after that, then they kind of cut back and they're on the bus, or I don't know. Well, they're talking about the bus driver. Paul was making
beer. Bus driver.
Yeah. Well, the guy, you can see why the guy has the nickname. The guy's huge. Paul was kind of, all this footage is kind of interspersed. It's like Zeus said, they're just having fun. They're all just kind of shooting the shit, teasing each other, having fun with each other. Paul's kind of shitting on the bus. Paul's kind of shitting on the bus driver, making fun of him, teasing him. Then Bruce starts gently teasing Gene about this and that,
Yep. And Gene has cookies.
Of course he does.
And Paul has that huge Paul Stanley face shirt. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
The one that saw somebody in the audience had it. What, did he take it from them right from the audience? Ugh.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, the fan
washed it.
Fan gave it to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at me. I'm wearing a shirt with my own face on it.
Then they go into what?
Unholy.
Yeah.
Oh, so good. That now, was it Unholy that you talked about? You said something about the tempo. Was it Unholy that we're talking about, or was this another song?
The tempo.
No, the tempo. The doom? No, the tempo. The tempo, the speed.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I heard somewhere, I forget where, but, that Gene has to play it a lot faster because he can't sing and play the bass to this song the same way as it is on the album.
Okay.
So he has to play it a little bit faster, and that's where the difference is on Unholy.
Okay. I usually notice that kind of stuff, but I didn't really notice anything with the live footage.
And this is where you had asked me, is Gene wearing tights?
Yeah. Well, yeah, because he's singing, so the camera's kind of focusing on him. Like, what is he wearing? What is he wearing?
Because he figured that all he needed was a lobotomy and some tights.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Tights? No.
Tights. The required uniform.
Tights. Anyways. Yeah, so then there's the beer crushed in tits.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Remember her?
Yeah, oh, yeah. So after Unholy, they go back to the interview. Gene starts talking about this big girl. And then it goes to the video of a girl literally crushing a beer can.
With her what?
With her breasts.
With her boobies. Yeah.
I'm like, what is going on here? I mean,
yeah.
Here's one thing I noticed about this, and it's probably our age, but I can't imagine any of these guys are very proud of this video. I mean, it's pretty fucking cringeworthy.
Yeah, it didn't age well.
It didn't at all. But again, it's a snapshot of where they were at the time in their career.
Yeah, we'll have more about this in the summary part, but
yeah,
what are they going to next?
They go into Heaven's on Fire, which I think we both agreed, or I said it. I said this is how this song should sound live, because when we did our End of the Road show review, neither one of us were a big fan of the performance on the End of the Road tour.
It is 1,000 times better. Maybe it's Bruce, but it's 1,000 times better.
Yeah.
And then also, I think them doing it without the makeup, it just looks right.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And that I never really put too much in stock into that kind of thought, but you're right. But it just sounded better.
And Paul still put his finger in his mouth.
Oh.
Eat it like a piece of cake.
Ooh.
You want to get that Jericho T-shirt of Paul Stanley with his finger in his mouth, that big teeth he wears? We loved it. I saw that. He had it on Instagram, a big picture of Paul Stanley non-makeup with the finger in the mouth from the friggin' piece of cake part of Heaven's on Fire.
It's either that or it's the shirt with the finger in Kraft's ass. So you can.
I hope he didn't put it in his mouth afterwards. Oh. I want a finger in my ass because we are all patriots tonight.
All right. So after Heaven's on Fire, then we get into like the first
Kraft in his red balloon. I want a red balloon.
God.
Guys, I've been doing this for years with Tommy about talking about there's something wrong with Bob Kraft. He sounds like he's an idiot when he talks.
He sounds like he's always shit-faced.
I want a red balloon.
He's like Sloth in the Goonies. Baby Ruth?
Rocky Roll?
Exactly.
Anyways, so after Heaven's on Fire, talks about where's this one part of again? Oh, I like it because
this is
Eric
the best
then.
Yeah.
This is a great part. They cut to footage where Eric talks about Gene forgetting lyrics.
Now before they get into the clip, so I thought it was pretty ballsy of the new guy, because remember, this came out Revenge. Eric's brand new to the band. Like, he's only been in the band for like a year or two.
But he's a shit stir.
Exactly. And he's right out of the gate talking about Gene forgetting the lyrics. And it was funny because it was either Paul or Bruce who were like, no, really? So then it cuts to a clip of early 19.
This was awesome.
Oh, if you guys are listening and have never seen the Confidential clip, this is legitimately fucking hilarious. It's a clip from early 76. And it's Let Me Go Rock and Roll.
And
go ahead, Zeus.
Yeah. And, it's the beginning. Starts of Let Me Go Rock and Roll.
Yeah.
He starts going, what's he, you show us everything you got, blah, 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 blah. People are like, what the fuck?
But it's funny because he's like, you show it. Then he's like, and then he looks at Paul and he's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. So, which leads us to, all this talk about they're too old, Paul can't sing, Gene's forgetting the lyrics. Gene was forgetting the lyrics in 76.
Yep.
So, I don't think it's an age thing.
No, it's not.
Right?
No.
Because I think he's been doing it for War Machine. He fucks up and he forgot remember the chorus, was it? We forgot in I Love It Loud on this tour. He forgets the verses and he switches them up.
Oh, yeah, he always messes them up.
All right?
Well, no, I mean, and this was
a great clip.
This was early 76. This was before Destroyer.
This was at Cobo Hall in 76. Yep.
Yeah, they only had 2 albums out, and the fucking guy's already forgetting the lyrics.
Actually, technically 3.
What was I'm sorry.
It's 76. I think.
Dress to Kill.
Dress to Kill didn't come out yet.
I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And then Paul says, I'm proud of the past, but I don't want to live off of it.
Which is bullshit, because that's exactly why they threw makeup era videos in here, so that people would buy fucking Confidential and VHS.
Really?
Yes.
They weren't going to buy this if they had a live cut of any way you slice it?
Please. Yeah. He's like, our past, our legacy, et cetera, et cetera. Translation, we're showing you makeup footage so you'll buy this godforsaken video.
And I think, I'm not sure if this is the part where one of them, I think it was Gene, that was like, we'll throw some clips in here. We're not going to always do that, but we're going to throw you some clips. In other words, we'll piecemeal you guys just enough that you'll be enticed, the old crowd, to buy this.
Well, yeah, because
we're not going to just do all of it, because then you'll never buy anything else again.
Well, yeah, because when you see this video in stores, you look at the listing on the back and you can see, it's 1976. 100,000 years, 1975. Oh, I'm going to buy this. Oh, yeah, but they sing Lick It Up. I don't fucking care about Lick It Up. I don't want that, So, so yeah, I mean, and then after that, then they go into 100,000 years.
Yep.
And this was awesome because that bass intro to 100,000 years, they kind of extend it and Gene does his blood thing. I thought that was perfect.
Yeah, and this was again at Cobo Hall, right?
Yes, it was that early 76. So it was before Destroyer, but like after Alive 1. So
they weren't really doing God of Thunder for the blood to come out, right?
Right. And they didn't. Right. Exactly. So that's why he did it for this.
All right.
I thought it fit well because 100,000 Years has that that bass intro. So I thought it kind of, I don't know. I liked it. I mean, I feel like they have. Yeah, I don't know. I like it. I thought it went well. And then from there, they go right into another clip, Nothing to Lose from 75.
Oh, Peters rocks in 75 at San Fran.
So good.
Got nothing to lose.
You said it. You mentioned something earlier because I had shared a video on our Facebook page last week of it was the band playing Hooligan on the Love Gun tour.
Yes.
And 2 things. A, why the fuck is that not on Alive 2? And B, you don't like that studio version, but even you, when you saw that live version,
it's badass watching him play the drums and sing.
He sounds amazing singing it. He sounds better.
Who's bitching about him in his voice, or he can't carry a tune, or he can't play the drum? He fucking sounds awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
And, you know, it's a different song. You mean you tell me you'd rather hear, what do you call it instead of that?
What, Rockin' in the USA? Yeah. Well, no, you know, which leads me, you know, I'm a big fan of conspiracy theories, especially when it comes to Kiss.
Right.
Did Paul and Gene leave that off because they didn't want to throw Peter a fucking bone? Because Beth is on there, but they had to put Beth on Alive too. They weren't going to leave Beth off there.
Yeah, but they had Hard Luck Woman.
Yeah, but that was...
How many songs? They're probably like, we're not going to give Peter 3 songs.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe you're right. I don't know. I just feel like when I saw that clip, I'm like, God, this sounds so good.
Are you buying into Peter? That they held him back? Are you buying it now?
I think I might be a little bit. I think,
why can't it be both? Why can't it be, yeah, they held back Peter, but you know why they held him back? Because he was a whiny little bitch, and he was annoying the fuck out of them. So they're like, you know what? Fuck him. I'm not giving him shit.
Yeah.
And then it's a chicken and the egg. Did he whine because they weren't giving him shit, or did they not give him shit because he whined?
Right. So we're like, hey, we'll give you the 2 pussy songs for Alive too.
There's your poll, Tommy. There's your poll for the week.
Okay.
Did they hold back on Peter? That's why he whined? Or did Peter whine because they held back?
Done. All right.
All right. Then they go into Hotter Than Hell at Cobo Hall in 76. And I said to you, holy shit, that's a great version of that song. I am so sick of Hotter Than Hell. But you know that was awesome.
You know why that version is good? And the version from Alive 1? Listen to it closely. I've told you this before. Sometimes my ear picks up things a little differently than you. Listen to the live version. There's a groove to the drums that Peter has on the live version that is not on the studio version. I've always said the song plods along. Mm-hmm. On the Alive version and on this version that we saw from Cobo, there's a groove, there's like a bounce to the song that's not on the studio version.
Yeah, I put down Peter's drumming saves this.
Yep, absolutely.
I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome. Again, that was early 76.
Now, 77, they show another clip of
Let Me Go Rock and Roll.
Your favorite.
Why are they showing this song twice? I mean, I know they
didn't really play. They were just showing Gene fucking up early.
But this was interesting because this was 77, so it was before Love Gun. It was the Rock and Roll Over Destroyer tour. They had the Destroyer costumes on.
Yep.
You know, and this is one song, you know, like I said at the end of the road tour, the song sounds great live. I hate the studio version. I think it's weak.
However, a couple things did stick out from that video in 77.
Yeah. Yep.
The Kiss sign was not lit.
At all. Why was it there?
Right? It was it wasn't lit.
Nope.
It wasn't like a banner. It just wasn't lit.
What, did they forget to have Peter plug it in behind the drums?
He kicked it out with his snare drum. They also did the Deuce dance.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
And you know what the other thing I put down? And this is going to be blasphemy to a lot of you guys out there. Tommy did a better job live on the End of the Road tour than Ace does on this.
Yeah. I mean, look, if you look.
This is ridiculous.
But that's one of those things. That's one of those things, Zeus, where you got to call it the way you see it. And we both agree that Tommy absolutely ripped it up on the fucking End of the Road tour with that song.
Yep.
I mean, his solo, he was just amazing on that song.
Yeah. And this was 77. Ace should be in his prime here.
Oh, Ace was probably half a case deep by the time this thing.
Hey, what song's next on the chart we're going to play?
Wait, is that Bob Kraft or Ace Frehley?
Oh, I'm fucking Ace. Where's my Grammy?
Yeah, exactly.
Bob Kraft talks like this.
It's like he's on the wrong speed. You put your record on the wrong speed.
Yeah. All right. So next.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
What do you got?
Oh, no. So that's the end of the classic clips. So they shoehorn all those classic clips in, and then they bring us back to Paul talking about his road crew and the unbelievable work that they do to set up the stage, break it down, and get everybody going. What else, what was some of the other things that you observed?
Yeah, I just the same thing. Kiss praising the road crew. They're interviewing them in a studio at this point.
Yep.
They might be mixing Kiss Alive 3 then. That's what we were thinking about.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think Kiss Alive 3 came out before this video. But actually, no, you're right. Forget. No, you're right. But the release of the
but they were in a studio when they were doing it.
No, you're right. You're right.
And then Eric calls Gene the beast fucker.
Yeah, this is when I was like, God. And then Eric said that Paul calls him Junior Pimp. And he walks around going, there's one for you, there's one for you. I'm like, oh, God, you guys.
Yeah.
Is this video, you know what we should have looked at? Is this video out of print? Because it fucking should be.
What's the next song?
So after that, they go into Domino.
They call it Domino.
Yeah. So, I mean, he does his thing, when that bitch bends over all that garbage.
And then they're on the tour bus.
Yep. And Bruce had the cool story. Go ahead.
And he was talking about like he got a fan like sent him the Hendrix live Woodstock recordings, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he was talking about like if there's one thing that he could get, like what would he want? And he said like the Hendrix original recordings. I think it was Woodstock. The next thing you know, he goes to a show and a fan gives it to him, and it was Bruce just being so polite and respectful to the fans and just, taking the time out. All these other guys are talking about like fucking people and doing all this shit. And Bruce is like, I just want to thank the fans for giving me a gift. It's like the nicest guy.
Yeah, no, I agree. So then they go after the tour bus stuff. They go into Lick It Up.
Ugh.
Love it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they're going to play that. Of course, it is what it is. Basic. Yeah.
So then they go back to the footage, and now they start shitting on each other some more.
Yeah, this was good.
Paul starts making fun of Gene that he watches movies of people that have been dead longer than he's been alive.
Yeah, he's like old, watching all these old movies. But then the best was Gene shitting on Bruce for playing
Paul.
Yeah. Oh, what
about video games?
Yeah, but Gene sounded like somebody's grandpa. He's like, "Oh, you're playing with these computerized figures or whatever the hell." What did he call them?
Computerized graphics or something. I don't know. Yeah. He was trying to say video games.
Yeah, exactly.
Like what?
Oh, yeah. And then Gene was like impersonating like Mario, like Super Mario, like jumping and all this kind of shit. It was kind of funny. It just proved that like Gene's just always been like a fucking old man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. But that's why Gene has this unbelievable knowledge of movies and comic books and stuff. He puts a lot of time and effort into that stuff. He knows this stuff inside out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, totally. Yep.
So then they go into Forever, and they play Forever live.
Oh.
Sounds awesome, right?
Paul's voice, I said it a few times during this video. The sweet spot for me, Hot in the Shade, Revenge. His voice on Forever, and it's sadly, and I said to you, Zeus, I looked at you, I said, this is why they're not playing this song on the End of the Road tour. You just can't do it. You just cannot do it. Paul had the 12-string acoustic guitar that just sounded so perfect. It was awesome. Really good stuff.
And that's the thing. So, when they talk about it, Forever should be a Kiss classic. If they actually kept performing that throughout the years, it would be a classic that couldn't miss off this End of the Road tour.
But he can't sing it, though. He can't hit that chorus.
Should have been a classic. They should have played it all back then when he could hit those notes.
Yeah.
Because it's a fantastic song, and they do a great job on it.
Yep.
So I'm just surprised that they don't play it. But then,
here we go.
After Forever, Paul starts talking about the strippers. And then Take It Off comes on.
Oh, my God.
Paul is hitting all the high notes. His voice is amazing.
Oh.
But more importantly, this is the whole reason I have this video, and this is the whole reason I remembered this video and I loved it, is this Take It Off live cut. And there are strippers. They would have strippers, and they would show up to certain towns. Some of them, the strippers toured with them, and others they would just go to the local strip clubs and pick out, say, send us your hottest chicks.
Yep.
And they would just go online and sing and dance and strip during the song. It's just awesome.
Now, I'm trying to figure out, and I think I asked you this, did they really do that on the Revenge tour? Like they'll
go to it, yeah. Apparently they had him. Why not?
God.
And then one of the video clips shows like this girl, then they show different girls stripping, flashing their tits.
Yeah.
One of them, like you can see she flashes and all of a sudden a bunch of guys grab her tits. I'm like, oh shit, that's like a live sexual assault right on film. I don't know why you're blasting that because I'm sure she didn't ask for that.
Yeah. Well,
in the Me Too movement, this is really dated.
Well, that's
eerily uncomfortable.
That was one of the things that I wrote down in my notes about obviously the times changed. First of all, that shit wouldn't happen today at a concert anyways, that behavior. But even if it did, it'd never be released on a friggin' live video.
Oh, yeah. It's, I look like a, sexual assault right there.
No, I agree.
Right but before the solo, right before Bruce solo. Take a look, guys.
Yeah.
And then there's other clips of little girls dancing stuff. One of them, I think Gina or somebody pulls one of the girls by their hair.
Oh, yeah.
Remember? And then there's one girl that looks like Jessica Rabbit.
Oh, yeah.
The redhead. Holy shit. Point her out, fellas. Take a look at this video, and then you guys tell me what you think.
Yeah. Woo! Yeah, that was funny. I mean, again, it's a sign of the times. It's what went on there. Take it off. Added to the live experience, having the strippers there. You know what I mean? So then after that, they take a break. They come back, and Gene is talking about Eric and his drum solos and et cetera, et cetera. I don't remember. What was there? I don't even remember if there was a drum solo on this album.
I'm not even going there. So the next is I Love It Loud. They play.
Yeah. The only good thing about this is so we didn't talk about this at the beginning, but this was the stage where they had the Statue of Liberty, the big giant Statue of Liberty face. Yep. And during I Love It Loud, the face blows off and it's like the skull with the Statue of Liberty. So it's pretty badass. I mean, it looked awesome.
That's what I had here too. The face comes off on the I Love It Loud part.
Yep.
However, continuing on this, and guys, we're no different than you guys are, especially back then in the day. But watching this now, being a little older in this environment, then there's a part where I think it was Paul. They were talking about the girls, and Paul, I think, said better than some of the cows we've had in here lately.
That's
man.
I mean, it's bad. I mean, and Eric is backstage. He's like, "Oh, we saved the best for last." Like and I'm like, ugh, it's just such a dated, and it's weird because it's funny because okay, Kiss Exposed, that's dated, okay, but that's fucking funny. It's like so stupid. It's funny. Like
exactly.
I think everything in Kiss Exposed was like tongue in cheek. Like this is like legitimate. Like
this is somebody trying to get a political job now and somebody showing them videos of what they said 10, 15 years ago. Yeah. Them talking about strippers and certain ones of them are cows. And
like I don't think like there's nothing.
That's not a good look, guys.
There's nothing tongue in cheek about this video. This is them at the time. And it doesn't. And again.
Yeah.
Zeus and I, we're not a bunch of stuffed shirts here.
Oh my God, no!
But we're just kind of calling it the way we see it, and it just doesn't age well. It's a real goofy snapshot of that era,
Yeah, and then they go into God Gave Rock and Roll to You.
Literally the worst fucking. First of all, and your boy who said it before we did about the encore. Jericho.
Yeah, what did he say?
When he was talking, he had, on an episode that he had talked about the Alive 3 Revenge. He's like, why are they ending with God Gave Rock and Roll to You and the Star Spangled Banner? Yeah. Why?
And it's funny because then they go, the Star Spangled Banner, and then basically, guys, the end credits come up.
Yeah,
right. But the Star Spangled Banner made me think. Did they do that because of Bruce was talking about how some guy sent him the Jimi Hendrix Woodstock thing? I'm like, you got the idea? Let's all of us do Star Spangled Banner. I understand that could be an ending credit for some concert video or something like that. But what fucking guy is ending on a high note at a concert listening to them play that live?
Yeah, I never thought of that until you brought that up, because kind of connecting the dots between Bruce talking about the Jimi Hendrix thing. And you're right. That's got to be the only thing I can think of. What would possess them? Because Jimi Hendrix playing the Star Spangled Banner at Woodstock is iconic. I mean, if you're a fan of that, everybody knows that.
And
how
everybody's done it now in fucking sporting events. Guitarists come out and do it. I think he was like, oh, I want to do this. And then all of a sudden Paul's like, no, you're not doing it. The whole band will do it. So I want to get in on it. Yeah, I want to get in on it too. Yeah, me too.
And what might be worse than that is God gave rock and roll to you. What? Yeah. I mean, and again, I know it was the time that the song was a hit. Then it was on the Revenge album. They were trying to push it. It was in the Bill and Ted movie.
And this one ended with the Kiss banner and no sign.
Yeah. Oh, that's another thing. Yeah, there was no Kiss sign for the entire show. And in the encore, they dropped like a kind of like the curtain that they drop at the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
Like now they drop it like behind them.
Banner.
Yeah, it was weird because during the show all they had was the Statue of Liberty head. They didn't have the big Kiss sign, but for the encore they drop it. I'm like, that's half-assed.
So that's Kiss Confidential. Overall thoughts? Go ahead.
Definitely the worst video in the Kiss collection
so far, since it's our first, and it's also our best.
Okay, or if you're going to look at it that way, I'm not a huge fan of straight up concert videos. Like, I like documentaries that have footage in them. I know that you're not. I know you're not a Rush fan, okay? But if you are a Rush fan, there's a movie on there called Beyond the Lighted Stage. It is probably the best made video history documentary of a band I've ever seen in my life. It's kind of like Extreme Close-Up, okay?
Yeah. Except about a band that sucks.
I'm going to pretend you didn't say that. As Kramer said to Newman, I'm going to pretend I didn't hear that. So I like those kinds of things. So like the straight up concert videos are kind of like, you know.
Wait a minute. Was that before the guy said, hey, where's the cameras?
That was before. Yeah. You idiot. Hawks eat squirrels.
So it's part of our new program.
Scandals and Animals.
One of the greatest fucking episodes.
So that's my favorite.
We all know the stars of the 70s weren't as hygienic as they are today.
We're going to do a Seinfeld podcast next. So what are your thoughts on Confidential?
Number one, the music was awesome.
Yes.
This band was extremely tight.
Yeah.
Extremely tight.
Yep.
It's nice to see how young they were, how happy they were. But one of the things I thought about is like, this is when Kiss was kind of no different than every other 90s or 80s hair band. They aren't the millionaire billionaires now that they are.
Nope.
They're on a bus traveling with playing, cassettes or CDs in the back of a boombox of a thing. They're talking about warming up cookies and, living all together. I think fucking Paul would shoot himself in the head if he had to live with other people on tour on a bus again.
I think Paul would shoot himself in the head if he ever watched this video.
Yeah. The way he talks now and how enlightened he is, he ain't
gonna my God. But you are right. In terms of the performance, like I said, this is my favorite lineup other than the classic. And this is all we're going to get, really, other than Kissology, when we'll get to that. But
musically, I think they were awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
I think the song selection could have been better. I wish they had a little more older videos. And I wish that the stuff they were talking would be a little bit more details. I mean, there's some details in it. This looks like something that they just threw together rather quickly.
It's a total companion piece to Alive 3.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Because there's nothing to it. Because you're right. There's nothing in there about the making of Alive 3. Nothing in there about the making of Revenge. It's all like tour bus BS. Like there's no background information about you're not like learning anything about the band, the album. It's just kind of like behind the scenes BS. And I think you're right. I think it's just a companion to Alive 3.
Yeah.
I
think they could have done better, but
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
You know, to somebody that's got a couple bucks can only buy one or two Kiss DVDs, this isn't the one to buy. But to the rest of us knuckleheads that are listening to a Kiss podcast, of course you got to have it.
But luckily for you, it's part of a double DVD set with the greatest.
Yeah, extreme close-up.
So yeah.
Well, that's our thoughts on Kiss Confidential.
But like Zeus said, though, like with our album reviews, we're going to rank our DVDs. So obviously this is our first one, so there's no ranking here.
The best and the worst.
Grand opening, grand closing. Yeah, that's it.
So, questions this week, Tommy.
Yeah, we got one. So this is from our. Is this Twitter?
Yeah, Fraggy.
Yeah, what do you say? Oh, this is Facebook. This is our friend Javier. So I'm going to kind of shorten the question out a little bit, but he talks about the non-makeup era and how. So he's talking about collectible items and things that are worth money, like on eBay or Amazon or Kiss Online, and he's talking about why are non-makeup items not more in demand than, say, stuff from like the late 90s with the makeup? Like why aren't people seeking out like Animalize?
Don't you think it's because of the cult?
Yes.
I mean, Kiss with the makeup is a cult.
Exactly.
Kiss without the makeup was Rat, Bon Jovi.
Yep.
People running around to buy Invasion of Your Privacy belt buckles.
Exactly.
I mean, just saying.
And Kiss knows this because they put the makeup back on. There's really, it's kind of hard to market the band. I mean,
yeah, Kiss makeup is the cult part.
Yeah, their marketing is their makeup, their costumes, and all that. I mean, you can't really. I mean, you're gonna buy a shirt with like just the Asylum cover on it. I mean, or whatever. You know what I mean?
I thought I saw a crowd of people with the all night sailor hat on the other day at a club.
I would buy that.
Ooh, look at a fashion statement that is.
And then we got another one from our friend Uwe Mueller. Yes. Yeah. We kind of talked about this a little bit when we had Sonny on, but I found a little bit more information. So he talks about asking about what's going on with Kissology 4. So that's the $1 million question that we're all asking for. So I found an interview that Gene did last year, and he just a couple quotes about, they asked him about it, and he says, Kissology 4 is finished, but the lawyers are taking their time. I don't know why it takes a long time. He's just so. I mean, that's pretty much all he says. I don't know how true that is. I know
do they want to do Kiss Alive 4? I mean, wouldn't you say when they release it, wouldn't they want End of the Road stuff on it, or would they say they release it? Do you think without End of the Road stuff?
Well, I think they would have to. I think it would have to. Yeah, well, now that the End of the Road tour is happening, if there is a Kissology 4, they're going to wait for the End of the Road tour.
That's what I'm asking. Like, do you think they would do that or make End of the Road separate?
Yeah, that's a good question because the last Kissology ended. I don't even know when it ended. Somewhere in the 2000s. So you're right. They could include because the End of the Road is going to come out as a CD, DVD, Blu-ray combo pack. You know what I mean? Right. I hope it does. But there are legalities involved with Kissology. The name, the rights. It's all VH1 Classic owned. VH1 Classic isn't even a thing anymore. I don't know if they own it, but I know that they were part of it. So But like you said, with the End of the Road tour coming, you're probably not going to see that for a while if you see it at all. But yeah, so those are a couple of the questions that we got this week.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, guys, where to find us? You can find us on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, Podomatic, Podchaser. Interact with us, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Email us, shoutitoutloudcast@gmail.com. Again, shoutitoutloudcast@gmail.com. Ask us questions. Give us one of those 5-star child reviews so people can find our podcast. And as you can tell, and we love name dropping. Send us something. Interact with us. We love it. Tommy?
Yeah. Again, we say this at the end of every episode. Interact with us, comment on our episodes, tell us what you like, tell us what you don't like, add your 2 cents. Give us your opinions and thoughts on what we're talking about. That's what we want. We want to engage. Give us ideas for future episodes. Maybe there's something on your mind that would be fun for us to talk about that maybe that we never thought of. We say it every week. We do this for you guys, and we love the interaction, the feedback that we have so far. But we want to keep it going. Right now, I mean, it's always a good time to be a Kiss fan, but right now it's a really good time to be a Kiss fan.
Absolutely. So, guys, interact. We love it. And that being the case, Tommy, last words?
Hot damn, Lord above. I want a lot of woman with a lot of love. Well, thin is in, but it's plain to see. It don't mean spit to me.
Well, let me tell you my story.
Oh.
I've got a man-sized predicament, and it's a big one. Goes like this. Yeah.
Is that footage from Bob Kraft?
That's the audio from Bob Kraft before he says, "Now stick your finger in assholes."
We can't end on that note. Oh, man.
Everybody, forget that last part. Thank you for listening, everybody. We'll talk to you guys next week.
Thank you, guys. We'll see you soon.
All right. Peace out, Girl Scout.